Welcome back to another episode of Big Apple Breakdown. Today we have our second live stream. Today, of course, we'll be talking about the Subway Series as well as the Knicks advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. And we'll take your questions. Henry, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Feeling great. Great day to be a New York Yankees fan. Great day to be a New York Knicks fan, even though I'm not a New York Knicks fan.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
a good time to be a New York fan right now.
yes, sir. I'm having some trouble with the Instagram live. Oh, wait. We're good.
You got it? All right, we're good.
Yeah, we're live on Instagram now.
We're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. Ready to get going as there was an exciting baseball series played as the New York Yankees bested the Knicks in the Subway Series at Yankee Stadium. Of course, the main takeaway was Juan Soto making his Yankee Stadium return. Henry, what were your overall thoughts about this series?
Yeah, very highly anticipated, and it did not disappoint whatsoever. Soto at the beginning of the series, really the whole series, really embraced all the hate he was getting. When in his first at bat, he walked up to the plate, tipped his cap to the crowd, almost like he was getting a standing ovation, which I don't know. I kind of like the swagger of it, but I really like how the Yankees came out to play all series. At the end of the day, he chose the Mets over us, and I know I get a lot of crap for being a Juan Soto apologist almost, but I am happy with the way that series played out.
Yeah, so before we talk ins and out details, first off, I thought it was a highly competitive series. I thought there was good baseball played overall on both sides, fun series. But as far as the Soto factor, I felt like the first game he wasn't rattled and he had some really good at bats, and I kind of thought this was a series he was going to get going. However, I think he wasn't expecting the boos to continue all series, and I thought he looked a little disturbed and rattled in games 2 and 3.
Yeah, the way he played off the boos in game 1, I think he thought it was almost like a rite of passage, like, oh, I'm going to show up and they're going to boo me and then we'll all get over it. But then I think it just really sunk in with him, and he really felt all the hate he was getting. And then I don't know, it definitely got into his head and definitely rattled him a good deal.
Well, he didn't perform well as he went 1 for 10 in his Yankee Stadium return, and he didn't get the big base hits. He had a couple opportunities to break the game open in that game 2. He had a hard hit ball to Volpe, but I thought it was odd. I was at the game yesterday. He was the last one out every single time in between innings, and I didn't catch this because I wasn't watching the broadcast, but 2 hours before the game, he just ditched that ESPN interview they had set up for him, which I'm sure would have been great for the viewership. Everyone wants to talk to him right now about the Yankees. I don't know if he's surprised at the hate and all the questions he's getting about the Yankees. When I feel like he should have known this was coming when he made his decision. And overall, I think his body language and his lack of enthusiasm is a little bit disturbing in my opinion, and it's not a good look.
Yeah, it's a complete 180 of his body language last year. And last year with the Yankees, he was so excited to be there, the way the fans embraced him. The Mets fans are embracing him the same way. I don't know what team wouldn't want to have Juan Soto on their team, but he almost seems like he got the money and now he's good to just coast. He has his World Series. He doesn't really have anything to play for necessarily in terms of accolades, maybe an MVP, something like that, but he feels like he almost made it and now he can just coast for the rest of his career, I guess.
Oh yeah, I wonder if he's a little he's not happy or the motivation isn't there. And I sometimes think Yankee fans kind of overestimate how much he loved them, and it was a contract year and he had a big opportunity to make money. Was that more of it? I don't. It's such an interesting thing because he doesn't look happy. He's not engaged with his teammates. He doesn't do the Soto shuffle anymore. That swagger that he had with the Yankees, the smiles, the happiness isn't there. And I don't know if it's just because he's struggling for probably the most of his career at this point. We're 50 games in. He's a 240 hitter. He's a much, much better hitter. He'll obviously get out of that. But I don't know if it's because he's struggling or he's not happy. We just don't know.
Yeah. And how much of it, he's still in New York. He's right across town. But how much of it, he's so close, but he's so far away from from the Yankees in a sense, where he's in the same town, in the same city, but the experience of being a Met, and there's no denying, no matter what, when you're a professional baseball player and when you're making that kind of money, your life from a financial standpoint is not bad at all. But there's just a big difference from being a Yankee and being a Met. I think he just sees where he was last year, where he is this year, and saw this series play out and wishes that he was on the other side getting the cheers, and he just knows that he's maybe on the losing side of.
So I don't know if I'm fully bought in that he regrets the decision. Like, I saw the Michael K comment where he said Soto wanted to go to the Yankees, but his family wanted to go to the Mets, and he chose the Mets. I don't buy that. I don't buy all that, to be honest with you. I think he misses the Yankees, but I think this is what he wanted. Right?
Maybe it's not that necessarily that someone made him do it or something, but he could have totally gotten convinced, and maybe he was like, "Oh, I want to go back to the Yankees," but he got blinded by being the guy and the stardom on that team, which he still. I mean, you saw the way Yankee fans embraced him last year. He was Judge's 1A. He wasn't a 2. It was him and Aaron Judge. It wasn't. He was a 2, but
Aaron Judge right now.
But would you say he got overshadowed by Aaron Judge?
Not really. I mean, I don't think it's what's wrong being the second best player on a team in baseball.
There's nothing wrong with that, but people seem to think that Juan Soto had it so bad with the Yankees last year because he wasn't the guy when he was in the position that he needed to be in. He was in such a perfect position.
He's the best player in the Mets, but he's not the fan favorite. I think Pete and Lindor still the more fan favorites.
That's true too. That is very true.
Because I don't know if it's Matt. If you look around Mets games, there's a lot of Lindor jerseys, there's a lot of Alonso jerseys. Of course, there's Soto jerseys, but I think he wanted. You go to a Yankee game, it's all 99 there. It's so much. It's all Aaron Judge there.
And like what that point you're making right now, don't you think Soto maybe got more of the market share of people wearing his jerseys with the Yankees than the Mets? If you're saying
it's just too early, I honestly think it's just the casual fan. Like Soto is just another Yankee. Like that is just the thing. If you're not following baseball every day and you're just going to a Yankee game a few games a year and you don't understand what's going on, you know Aaron Judge is. You probably even know who Garrett Cole is. You might even know Anthony Volpe is because of the story. It's just
you know who Juan Soto is,
Henry. But like, if you're a casual fan, if you're a girl who watches 10 games, you're not going to.
The casual fan does know who Juan Soto is. He won a World Series when he was 19.
Okay, Henry, they're not watching the World Series. The Yankees aren't it.
Okay, I get that, but
New York fan, they're wearing an Aaron Judge, Derek Jeter jersey. They don't watch baseball.
If a casual fan doesn't know who Juan Soto is, then they probably have never turned on a baseball game. If a casual Yankees fan, they all know who Juan Soto is.
Until he was on the team last year. I just look.
Oh,
a new Mets fan's probably picking up a Juan Soto jersey. A new Yankees fan probably not. Like last year.
No, last year I think a new Yankees fan.
No, they're choosing Aaron Judge, dude. You're overestimating. Like Aaron Judge is the guy.
I think you're underestimating the stardom.
No, he's a star. I'm not. He's a star, but he was never the star in the team.
I know, but the way Yankee fans embraced him on any other team, you would say he's the star. The way that they just embraced him. That's how Yankee fans embrace all their players. And just a season. What?
They want him to stay, of course.
Yes. And the season he had last year, that would have been the best season on most teams.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. I mean,
the best player.
For sure. I mean, most of the time, that's an MVP season the year he had last year.
I think also there is a point to be made. Not only did Soto have a bad series, but then also how well Cody Bellinger played this series, and Cody Bellinger was his replacement. How well, and
it's been it's more than one guy with him.
How well? I was going to bring up that point. I think in game one where Soto thought like, oh, they're booing me, whatever, and then he thought it would kind of stop a little bit. then Sunday, Max Fried struck him out twice, and Max Fried was the first pivot off of Juan Soto this past season.
Yeah.
So I think Soto's walking away from the series being like, wow, I didn't shut these guys up. They booed me this whole series. And these guys, Goldschmidt, Bellinger, and Fried, who were the Yankees pivot, who they replaced me with, totally outplayed me.
Okay, yeah, I agree. We got some comments I'm going to read here. So I think the Yankee fans need to get off Soto stuff. I actually agree. Give him some time. Lindor and Beltran took time to play with the Mets, and it's only quarter way through the year. Look, I'm not worried about the numbers. That's going to come. I think it's legitimately be concerned about the body language and the disengagement. And I think Soto legit thinks he's above all the Mets players. I think there's a little bit of arrogance to it. And because of what Steve Cohen and the Mets offered him, where the private jet thing was fake, I guess. I don't think he's flying private jet. That wasn't true apparently. But all the luxury he's getting that just other players aren't, I think you need to sit down with him and like, look, the Mets have him now. You're one of us. You need to fit in. Just because you're getting paid the most, just because you're the best player, you got to fit in with the team.
When you said the private jet thing, I thought, because you texted that to me earlier,
yes,
I thought you meant just his family was. I didn't realize that people took whatever that report was that he and his family were flying in a private jet, which that would be outrageous. That would be
crazy.
ridiculous.
And it came out today that Mets personnel was a little worried about the lack of enthusiasm showing. And he yesterday, when the game ended, he said, "I'll be right back" to the reporters,
and he left.
He just left. I hate when players do that. First off, you have a bad game. You have stuff going on. These people are making a living off depending on asking you questions. You just ditch them like that. I really hate when players do that.
Yeah, and
so many other people.
I saw a TikTok today by Kevin Clancy. He's one of the Barstool Sports guys, like one of the little guys there. And he's a big Mets fan. He was talking about all the reports of the thing Michael Kay said, the thing about Soto flying in a private jet, and the report about how he looks not himself and that he's put on weight. And I think this just shows how how much Yankee fans and the Yankees in general are in Mets fans' head, because he was just calling Yankee fans dumb and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how the Yankees are the little brother, second-class organization, coming from a Mets fan. And I wanted to check the date that he posted it, because I'm like, this couldn't have been before, or this couldn't have been after the series. And then I checked it, and he posted it today.
That's crazy.
I thought was hilarious after dropping 2 of 3 games to the Yankees, and then you're gonna go and post that. I think that's just little brother behavior. And
I mean, just because you stole one free agent off the Yankees, it doesn't mean you're win no matter what for them forever. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, he was just saying stuff like, "Oh, the Yankees pay their guys," stuff like that, and then I don't know. The Yankees, in my opinion, are better off that Juan Soto left. As amazing as he was last year and everything, I
think for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
I don't know about way down the line. If Soto's keeps up a superstar tandem, if in year 8, year 9, then probably not. But right now, because if you think of it this year, if Soto was on the team, Cole's still hurt. There's no Max Fried, probably no Devin Williams, probably no Bellinger, maybe not even Goldschmidt. So who knows what the team even looks like then.
Aaron Judge had a comment saying, "I love that guy hitting behind me," talking about Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
Everything I saw, I didn't hear him actually say it, but I read it on different things, and no one alluded to this, but I thought it was kind of a dig at Juan Soto, who was saying that how much he loves Aaron Judge hitting behind him.
Like, I don't know. They did acknowledge a little bit. They don't acknowledge till Sunday.
They acknowledged each other before the game and then also
during the game. I saw it during the game live. I didn't notice it on the pregame. But yeah, I mean, it's just an odd situation what's going on. And I don't like to think athletes do this, but if it's almost like this guy accomplished so much at such a young age. What else is there? What's like, he got the money. What's the motivation factor left? Like I don't like to think athletes do that, where you like to think they will try hard no matter what, how much money they're getting paid. There's always more to accomplish.
Mhm.
That is what defines the greats and the goats, like that stuff, the mentality.
Yeah, like Aaron Judge got his bag, got named the captain, and he's just gotten better. And I mean, it is kind of human nature once you get it, just in any sport or anything in general. Once you get your recognition, once you finally make it financially, to just like coast almost.
Mhm.
When in athletics, that's just the sorry way to go about it. What do you think about? I have a question for you. Do you think if Soto re-signed with the Yankees, he would be off to this bad of a start?
I don't know, honestly. Like, no, probably not, because he was hitting in front of Aaron Judge, but that's just not a world we live in. Like,
I also think no, and not even that he's hitting in front of Aaron Judge. I think just with the leadership style of Aaron Judge, he would fall in line. Like he'd be like, "Oh, we're running it back, we're back," and he would just fall in line with Aaron Judge.
we had another comment. I think Yankee fans are making a bigger deal about Soto than Mets fans. Okay, yeah, you can see it. You guys wanted him to You guys wanted him to stay. I think I don't know him to
Stay.
To stay that you didn't. The Yankees wouldn't pay him for $700 million. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't want Juan Soto back in the team. But as a Mets fan, my response back to you is, the play, it will get better. Like, the guy's too good of a player for it not to. But the stuff that he can control, the body language, the enthusiasm, all of that stuff, how are you not annoyed?
Yeah, exactly.
That's my thing. You got to be a little bit annoyed about it. The effort, he looks miserable out there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous if you're making that amount of money doing anything. You gotta at least act like
all the Mets are probably looking at him. And I think, look, it's just getting brought up now because the Subway Series happened. The Mets got off to such an amazing start, but now their bats are starting to cool down, as you saw this series, and they need Juan Soto to be Juan Soto, what they paid him for. Alonso's starting to cool back down, which is going to happen. He was way too hot. Lindor's struggling a little bit, and he's playing you paid him $765 million just to play right field.
Yeah, he's got
right field.
He's got a hit. He could be playing a bad right field. If he was producing at the plate, that would be fine. But the other way around is not.
You paid for that bat.
Yeah, you don't pay for him in the field.
So. All right, so should we talk about the actual play of the game?
Yes.
Juan Soto. So Friday's game, Rodon pitched well again, and then I'm trying to remember exactly what played out. Mets bats were kind of cold all series.
Mm-hmm. And
how did the break through?
Notably, Rodon pitched around Soto 3 times. Which, from Rodon's perspective, I don't blame him at all, because Rodon does struggle seemingly with confidence issues, where if he gives up a big hit, that could hinder his confidence for weeks. I could just see it playing out in my head right now. If Juan Soto stepped up to the plate, first inning, any at bat, doesn't matter what at bat, if Juan Soto stepped up to the plate and hit a bomb off of Rodon, I think Rodon's confidence would have spiraled, and he would just never be the same again.
Yeah, a couple of those. See, I thought the first at bat, it was just he got behind and kind of just didn't throw anything. Yeah. The other two, this is why I thought he was gonna have a good series, because he looked really good those first 3 at bats against Rodon, and it kind of fell apart. He wasn't seeing the pitches as well. He was still getting in deep at bats, but not converting them, hitting weak contact, strikeouts a lot of the time. So, but I'm trying to remember how Bellinger just had a red hot series. I mean, he's been awesome now. He was the star of the series for sure.
Star of the series, and really had his Yankee signature game yesterday, where he went 3 for 3. He's on a 13-game hitting streak. He's just hitting out of this world right now. In this series, he hit like over 600, but he had a big infield single yesterday that advanced the runners.
Mm-hmm.
I think loaded the bases. Whoever the pitcher was on the Mets and Alonso totally collided at first base.
Yeah.
And then the next inning or two, Bellinger came to the plate with bases loaded. The Yankees were up 2, hit a grand slam that put the Yankees up 6, and that was really just his signature game as a Yankee.
Corbin Vivas had a great at bat that game. I still think Alonso made the error, but I still don't think he would have gotten Dominguez at home. Dominguez could fly. I
Yeah.
didn't see the replay, but it looked like a bang from in person. I think Dominguez might have gotten in there.
Yeah.
But then game 2, the Mets, it was another close game, and then the 9th inning, the Mets took the lead. And I don't know what I've noticed with the Yankees. I feel like they just don't win close games, or it's weird.
Yeah, this year that's what it feels like. It feels like their bullpen will just like fall apart.
And the offense just gets either gets red hot or just
yeah, and
cold.
I feel like yesterday was kind of an outlier. They don't really come alive late in games. I feel like they have started doing that more as of late, but where it's a tight game, tie game, or up a run, and you could use a couple insurance runs just to put the game at ease a little bit more. I feel like the Yankees really have struggled with that all season, but
when they do get it going, it turns into a 5-run inning. It's weird. That's what I've noticed.
Or a couple of weeks ago against the Padres where they had the 10-run inning.
Exactly. Like that was a game they were down, and then later on, I've noticed the strength of this team. Though I will say is, I feel like when their guys that are hot get slow, other guys get hot.
Yeah, other guys pick it up.
Starts slowing down Trent a little bit. Then all of a sudden, Cody Bellinger's now red hot, and now he's that guy that's supporting Aaron Judge. Of course, you have Judge, who's Judge. Rice starting to slow down,
and it feels like the quote unquote bad in this lineup isn't horrible.
No,
it's not like last year where we really had two guys we could rely on and really nothing else for the regular season. Obviously, in the postseason, Giancarlo Stanton stepped up, Volpe stepped up, Torres stepped up. But it feels like on any given day this season, anyone can step up and have their game.
Yeah, I mean, a little surprised. I mean, DJ LeMahieu's looked pretty good out second base. His bat's actually been all right. And anything he gives is just a surprise to this team, especially with Cabrera hurt. And once Jazz comes back, I think he has legit, unless they make a trade,
legit shot
for him. I mean, Peraza sucks. He made an error yesterday. And Viva, those guys aren't starters. So
and
they'll never be anything.
Yeah, DJ's really he looks athletic.
He looks healthy.
Yeah. Where he has not looked healthy at all. And every year, we come in every year being like, oh, he's finally healthy this year. And I don't want to say, oh, DJ's back to his old form, but, he has looked really good this series. So,
yeah, I mean, I was talking to some Mets fans, and they're so done with Starling Marte. I guess Marte, so with Winker's hurt right now, Marte's under 200 now, who, I mean, he's been bad. I mean, that bottom of the order is just a little, now that their offense is starting to, their pitching's not as dominant as it was, and their offense is not stepping up really. Yeah, Vientos been I mean, he's terrible defensively, Vientos.
Yeah.
You have to take him out. It's almost like they're Jason Dominguez, where you have to take him out at the end of the game. And I don't know, with them, the National League's so tough, they're only a half game ahead of the Phillies now.
Yeah.
I mean, they play the Red Sox today, so I wonder if Soto took a private jet there, or they're down 3-0 right now. So
I think it's frustrating how the Yankees are off today, where they were off on Thursday, played 3 games, and they're off today again.
Yeah, I didn't even realize I'm kind of accidentally going to back-to-back games. I'm going tomorrow's game again.
Oh, really?
So I'll see that, and I went Sunday, so if the environment was really cool. I will say it was really cool environment at that game. I mean, for a regular season baseball game, that in May, that was the most live I've seen Yankee Stadium in a while, and I've gone to Yankees Red Sox sometimes in the regular season.
I forget who it was. I want to say it was one of the John Boy Media guys said that was the loudest they've ever heard Yankee Stadium for a regular season game, I think.
Which games? Yesterday?
Just I don't know what specific game they pointed out, but
in general,
I think maybe the series.
I mean, the Bellinger home run, the place just went nuts.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
Oh, this is a good question. Are you guys worried about Judge not being clutch? He struck out to end the game and has not done a lot in the playoffs. I mean, of course, the playoffs is any Yankee fans lying if they say they'll never be not worried about that. The clutch, I mean, I don't think he's been great this year, but typically he's fine with that stuff in the regular season.
Fine with that in the regular season. That strikeout did set up Bellinger's home run, But I do.
I think he's talking about the Edwin Diaz one game 2.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
even yesterday with the bases loaded.
yeah. That's not really a high level.
Oh yeah. He
But
did strike out.
Like it was the last out of the game when Diaz got him in game 2.
But so that game and yesterday, where he struck out, bases loaded, both situations. But when he struck out yesterday, Bellinger did pick him back up. Where last year we didn't have really anyone behind him besides in the playoffs when Big G would pick him back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did. My mind actually did go there when he struck out yesterday. That is definitely something to
Yeah,
about.
I think the monitor, of course, just for the Yankees, because they haven't been great high leverage, who's going to be the clutch hitter? I mean, last year Soto had a bunch of clutch hits. Weirdly, Trent Grisham's always weirdly clutch.
Yeah,
I swear he always gets the big hit.
and
he's starting to play every day now,
which is great. He has cooled off a little bit, still hitting like 276, I believe. But I don't know. He'll even out. Maybe he'll end up being like a 260 hitter. We'll see.
I think the guy that's gonna start really losing at bats is Ben Rice. I think he's gonna start transitioning kind of towards that bench role, especially when Big G gets back.
Which honestly is not the worst thing because he's still very young and he has a bright future ahead of him. But
where's he gonna play? It's just there's not a lot of spots for him to play.
If there were gonna be a guy who would be an odd man out, I think it would be him.
Definitely him. I mean, Goldschmidt's been on fire. So I mean, this Yankees plan B looks Cashman's job right now looked really good. I mean, Bellinger's really starting to heat up, and he's an awesome player right now. And then Goldschmidt's been awesome all year, and then Max Fried has been maybe a Cy Young right now. Devin Williams has been the worst one, and that's probably the one who I thought would have been the best.
I was thinking about it because when you look at like how the Dodgers are, I think, and like how deep they are, and like last year when the Yankees matched up with them in the World Series, and I just kept thinking like, we're the Yankees, we should be able to have these guys coming in. Our bench was horrible, and now we're so deep.
Well, this year, I mean, last year we had the same lineup every game except an occasional catcher swap, maybe one or two games with Trevino. Jesus, my dogs. This year in the playoffs, if assuming they make it, there's gonna be different lineups. I think depending on the matchups, there's gonna be pinch hitters actually coming in, which will be fun to see.
I think it's funny. Max Fried gave up two earned runs yesterday in 6 innings, and his ERA went up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we got a question about, you made a TikTok about this, so I'll let you answer this one first. What do you think it would take to get Skeens this year? Any chance they trade him this year for a ton?
So obviously it's going to take a giant haul. Skeens is 22. I said in my video that team has 4 years of control of him after this year. It might actually be 5, depending on when he came up last year, the way that they.
But he won Rookie of the Year. He had to be eligible.
No, it's the way they manipulate the service time. If you come up after a certain date, then you don't have a full season. So then after 6 seasons, you really have like 5 point something. So then you have to play the 7th. So they might have 5 years of control on him after this year. They have at least 4. And he's 22. He hasn't even hit arbitration yet. So the money he's making is not much. So a team is going to have to pay by giving up a lot of prospects. Yes, like pretty much everything.
It would be a massive haul. I don't understand Pittsburgh. Like, I know they're bad, and like hypothetically, if they want to get the most out of him, you do it now. But I just don't see them giving up on him now. Do you?
I think that's just hard to say. I could very easily see them making the trade. I don't know. I honestly don't know why they wouldn't, unless he totally expresses like, hey, I see a future here. I see us winning ball games, which there's no way he sees that. I think that this could go in like a Juan Soto type of direction where Nationals traded him for a huge haul, and they
got a good package.
They got a good package for him, and they kind of rebuilt from that. So the Pirates could do the same, or I just don't see him staying there. I don't think he wants to stay there. usually teams don't like their pitchers going and pitching in the WBC,
He's
and
doing great.
he's doing that. And I would bet money that the Pirates said, "Hey, we don't want you doing that." And
They got no power though.
well, no team can tell their players that they can't play.
Yeah.
That's a rule. But I could totally see the Pirates being like, "Hey, we don't want you," and a lot of teams respect that when their teams say that. But I could see Paul Skeens just being like, "Okay, I really don't care.
Yeah, I don't care what you guys think. Totally.
I'm going to play there." Whereas if the Yankees, and they really only do this with pitchers, they don't necessarily do this with position players, just because of the way they have to ramp up and everything. But say like the Yankees or the Dodgers, I don't know, any other high class team said, "Hey, we don't want you pitching in that." I think a player of Paul Skeens' caliber would take that in consideration more.
I agree. I mean, just because it's if he was on a team that was going somewhere that is a playoff contender, then yeah. But I don't think he sees that, and I mean, I don't think I just in baseball you can win this way with these small markets and figure out a way to like the Rays made the World Series. They don't pay a lot. Like you there's a way to do it. It's not impossible. It's hard. So I don't know if you should give up on him that early. Ooh, I got
also. I like
what
that one.
Paul Skeens and Aaron Judge do would be better than LeBron and Luka. I mean, it's weird to compare, but yeah, just because it's Judge is the best player in baseball and Skeens is an up and comer, you can even argue might be the best pitcher in baseball, and LeBron's 40 exactly like you just said. So yeah, I'm with you, and I would say so.
Also, a Paul Skeens trade would be so like monumental for any team, because it's not like, oh, we're going and getting a righty at the deadline. We're not going and getting a Sandy Alcantara at the deadline. We're going and getting Paul Skeens at the deadline.
Oh, it'd be one of the biggest trades in baseball history if it ever happens.
It wouldn't be. I would compare it more to that Luka trade, just because the star power you're bringing in. Whatever team trades for him would definitely have to give up more than the Lakers gave up for Luka, but it's still that in a sense where it's a team altering trade where you're getting a player that you just don't see. See once in a generation, maybe.
Baseball's such a funny sport because, like in basketball, you got to match salaries. And I was talking to my friend, like we were talking about the Paul Skeens trade, and he's like, oh, like the Pirates wouldn't want like Teoscar Hernandez. We said the Dodgers, like, no, they don't want to pay him.
Yeah.
And so like it wouldn't be any like big star that's in the league currently.
Do you one of the hypothetical trade that I put in my TikTok, it was Luis Heel, Spencer Jones, and then Ben Hess. Obviously, I mean, we don't really know much about Ben Hess. He's a minor leaguer. But would you give up Spencer Jones and Luis Heel?
Oh yeah.
And then someone else for
I'd give up George Lombard Jr. like that.
I would too.
I'd give up the entire I mean, I like this question. I would give up both Volpe and Dominguez for Paul Skeens. I don't have the hot take, and I'm the biggest Jason guy. Maybe not Jason. Okay, I don't know. Maybe
I don't think the Yankees are moving off either.
No, I mean this trade's not going to happen.
Well, obviously not Dominguez. I don't think as much of the flack that Volpe's been getting, I don't think they're moving off Volpe soon.
No, unless something crazy like this happened. But this isn't the. This is just a hypothetical, fun, crazy.
Even that, because they I don't think that they would do that in the middle of the year. Who else is coming in and playing shortstop? You know?
Oh no, I don't know if Paul Skeens is getting traded at the trade deadline.
Oh yeah, this is all hypothetical, obviously, but
I mean it's a fun what if. I mean, if he is on the block, then all those big marks, man, Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, maybe Red Sox. They have a shit ton of assets, so
yeah,
maybe one of them.
And yeah, a team with more assets can come in and just be like, hey, we'll give, like, or they can be like, what are the other guys offering? We'll give you that ×2, and just like,
yeah,
throw in
if you get traded now, you're just not that worried about that second contract. It's not looming that fast, so you got time to figure it out by then. All right, so I think we covered enough Yankees. Anything else you want to mention before we move on?
I think that was really it. I just love how in the stretch that Cody Bellinger was getting hot, and it all seemingly came to a peak against the Mets, against the guy he replaced, and I just think that was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. It
So,
was
yeah.
good to see. Good for Cody. I mean,
13-game hitting streak. He's hitting like well over 400 during that hitting streak. His numbers are starting to get back more to like a normal range. He started the season really bad, but he really struggled with his back problems, food poisoning, and ultimately just got out to a slow start. And it's really nice to see him really catching a stride and coming back and playing well. So, yeah.
All right, so let's move on to a little bit Knicks talk. So, of course, the Knicks moved on to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. They beat the champs, the Boston Celtics. So, huge win for them as they do something that hasn't been done in a long time. A lot of people's lifetimes, they never saw a Knicks Eastern Conference Finals appearance. And this team's got a legit shot to win it all, man. It's the Final Four is in with the Timberwolves, Thunder, Pacers, Knicks, and it's anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the more exciting semifinals and finals that I think we've ever seen, because, like, in our lifetime at least, because I don't know when the last time was that we really saw where we really could sit here before the conference finals and be like, anyone could win this. I guess when the Nuggets won,
I mean,
even the Nuggets seemed like favorites.
I kind of feel like I go back and forth with the anyone could win this because I think there's a very good chance that it might be June and the Thunder but could just walk through the NBA Finals and you're like, yeah, they were a 68 win team. I think what nice is it's all new players. Like a lot of times in the Final Four, you still had that older era. Like they're one of LeBron, Steph, or KD were still that far, or Giannis, or Boston, or Miami. You had familiar faces, which I love watching. I still love watching those, but it's still nice seeing new blood. I mean, you got a lot of young guys. You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards.
I did have that thought. I did have that thought about the Thunder yesterday, but I still feel like even though they were a 68-win team and they were pretty much a juggernaut all season long, I still feel like it's anyone's game here.
I kind of disagree, just because. I mean, like they're if you look online, they're the massive favorites. I just think the Thunder's such a small market team and they're so young that it's easier to overlook them.
I get that.
But they really should just like if you look at the logic and just how sports should work, this team should easily win it all.
I do understand that.
And they're better than Indiana and the Knicks if they get past Timberwolves. They should win all, but it's not just the Thunder are going to get so overlooked until they actually win it all. That's just the reality.
Also, I think it's so cool that, I mean, these teams either have never won it all or haven't won it all in so long.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the Knicks Pacers are going to be that's the series everyone's going to be watching. Of course, I mean, this rivalry is renewed. Of course, Reggie Miller and the Knicks back in the day, and even last year, awesome series. And the Knicks maybe could have won that series. They didn't get hurt, but now they get their chance to actually prove and win that series. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I think these teams really match up well. Their best players are guards. They both got good big men. Yeah, a lot of depth, good big men. And I think the Pacers, just from what I've been watching everything, it seems like the Pacers are better offensively and the Knicks are better defensively.
Yeah, I go back. The Pacers are a really, really good team.
Yes.
Like they beat Cleveland, who was a 60-win team in 5 games. Like they just smoked them.
And also, Cleveland had injuries. Who did they play in the first round again?
The Bucks. The
Bucks had injury problems.
Last
year against the Knicks had injury problems.
So I've kind of officially, a few years back, I've officially just gone, and Draymond Green had a similar comment to this because they asked him like, oh, if Steph Curry doesn't get hurt, do you win this series? And he pretty much said, he's like, maybe, yeah, but what's the point of thinking that way? That's just how sports work. And sometimes you're on the luck side of it, and sometimes you're the bad luck of it. And I moved on from a while ago of just putting asterisks just because of injuries happen, because that's just the sports.
I agree with you if you're looking back.
I was just thinking past, like
looking back years past doing it. But if you're still in that season, I don't think it's not an asterisk. It's just like breaking it down.
It could have happened. You're right, but I just Wait, I
So,
kind of think it's just a pointless what if, and I've kind of learned that throughout the
so
years.
I'm not saying that it's a what if. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that yes, Indiana could have just as easily lost a series if
Mhm.
those other teams are healthy. So I think almost it doesn't discredit Indiana, but it's like they haven't faced the competition that the Knicks will bring to them.
I don't. I think the Cavs are a good
I
team. I
know.
know they
I
were a little injured, but I mean, I think Indiana's just. I watch them. They're so young. They're so athletic, and they just chuck threes. And I mean, I go back. I think the series going 7 games. I think it's leading to another 7 game series, and it's going to be come down to the Madison Square Garden. Winner goes to the NBA Finals. I really think that's the way the
that would
series.
be awesome. And the Knicks are peaking right now.
I
So
mean, I
like
hope the Knicks win. Like
I do. That would just be
from Don's
awesome.
highest point, I kind of like the Pacers better, but I want the Knicks to win this because I think I mean the way the Knicks are they're so hot right now, and it's almost hard because like that Celtics series games 1 and 2, it's not like they played well. They played really well in those 2 last wins. Like they're just the Knicks in the clutch are so hard to beat, but the Pacers are also a very good clutch team too. Tyrese
Yes.
Halliburton makes every clutch shot. I feel like.
When the game slows down and Jalen Brunson takes control
Oh
of the
yeah,
game, like that's I
he's
would
a
not want to be on the other side of that. And
no.
even I'm a Nets fan, but I understand how important the Knicks are for the city of New York. They kind of because the Nets, even though they're originally from Long Island, they are really New Jersey's team.
Mm-hmm.
So for football, you have the Jets and Giants. For baseball, you have the Yankees and Mets. But the Knicks are really, and for hockey, you have the Islanders and the Rangers and the Devils. They all kind of split all that the market share. But for the basketball, the whole city really unites around the Knicks.
Yeah,
So
I mean this. I think the Wings might. I mean, like the Wings, the complimentary players are going to be the keys because
mhm.
Bronson's going to be a star. You know what he's doing, but the like Halliburton, I don't. He's not even a plus. Indiana's got so many guys that can step up on, and they got really athletic wings. Like, of course, the Knicks got OG, Mikal Bridges. Cat's a wild card, man. He just is in these playoffs. You
Yeah.
either have awesome performances or just bad games where he looks just so out of it.
Yeah, and he is going to have a matchup against Miles Turner this
He's
year.
Turner's an awesome player.
Yeah, so I I think the Knicks, even though they were so bad against the Celtics all year and like the Cavs and Thunder, they were built perfectly to beat the Celtics in the playoffs.
Yes, hypothetically.
Yeah, they were built so perfectly to beat them in the playoffs, but they're not. I mean, I don't really. They're not really necessarily built to beat the Pacers.
Yeah,
It's just a totally different style of play.
I mean, like the way because like when you beat the champs, like I feel like it's almost like you got to win it all now. Like that's just
Oh
my
yeah,
you got to win it all now. Like now, like you never know if you'll ever get this opportunity again.
but then and then also the reason I make the point that it's so wide open is because the Knicks beat the Celtics. I think that they can beat the Thunder.
They could, of course, they could. I wouldn't favor them. I mean, I think it's a very easy thing just to overlook the Thunder. I mean, you look on paper, like this team shouldn't be that good, but
Mhm.
I mean, they just beat the best player in the world, Jokic. I mean, I know they had a better team, but that series to me, I kind of thought if they got past the series, they're gonna end up winning it all, and I still think they're gonna end up winning it all.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be an easy series against the Wolves. Wolves looked really good this playoffs.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I think I like them in 6 in that series.
Well, the Thunder in 6th.
Yeah.
Okay, and then who you got in the Knicks Pacers?
I'm gonna go Knicks in 7. I'm gonna go the Knicks Thunder finals.
I'm gonna go Knicks in 6, and then I'm gonna go Timberwolves in 7. I think
that'd be
that
a cool final.
there's cool if the Knicks make it, no matter who they would match up with, and even against Indiana, there's cool storylines across the board. If they match up with Minnesota, it's Cat versus Julius Randle, Tibbs versus the team he used to coach for, DiVincenzo versus his Villanova guys. Like, it's all really cool storylines there. If they match up, this is way more of a lesser one, but if they match up against the Thunder, Hartenstein
Yeah.
against New York, And then against the Pacers,
This
it's
match
just
was awesome. This is a little
Halliburton
rivalry, yeah.
and Brunson, little rivalry renewed. They even did I don't know if you saw the clip. They did the thing on WWE together.
Yes, I did see that last year.
I thought it was funny. So
yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I'm excited to watch, excited to break it down. I hope the Knicks don't run out of gas a little bit. I mean, it's a little worry I have, but we'll see. It's gonna be a long series, I think.
I agree. It's gonna be 6. I said 6, but it's gonna be 6 or 7 at least. But I don't think at this point they will run out of gas. At least in this series, maybe in the finals. But I don't think they're running out of gas yet because after Game 2 against Celtics, I thought that the Celtics still had a great chance to come back, and I thought the Knicks would run out of gas, and they just didn't. I know Tatum got hurt, but even in Game 6, the Celtics should have had a good chance to win. And
I mean, I thought their wins in Game 4 and Game 6 were the best I've seen them look by far.
Yes.
And
even the Celtics
impressed me.
Even the Celtics have looked great without Tatum.
Oh, Celtics are still a very, very good team without
Tatum. Up
Tatum.
until that point.
The roster's built.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there should be no discredit for them. They beat them fair and square.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
3-1 when he was healthy, and then they won the last 2. They won the last game to get the job done. So, no asterisk there. They got the job done. And yeah, I mean, this could be a fun Eastern Conference Finals. I can't wait.
It's gonna be awesome. Both just the way that this playoffs is shaping up. The Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. It's gonna be a great finish to the season.
Yeah, and I think it's a good opportunity for these new faces of the league to come because I think a lot of big question was who's the next face of the league, and now I think you can argue SGA and whoever wins that could be it, and if the Knicks win it all, I mean they're going to be Bronson could be the face of the league. It's crazy. Think about that one.
Yeah, and I think that this is a great opportunity because I feel like Ant Edwards is a great player for the NBA to market.
Yeah,
so if Ant Edwards goes out and has a great series and ends up willing his team to victory, I think that this would be perfect for the NBA to market him as almost like the next star.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, I think we
covered everything.
Covered it all. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, we'll be back covering next week. Give you guys content throughout the weeks. Thank you guys. Henry, any last things?
I forgot to plug this in the beginning, but Dugout Mugs.
Yeah, Dugout Mugs. Get them.
The show is brought to you by Dugout Mugs. Make sure go to their website. Use code Big Apple for 20% off your entire purchase. That's code Big Apple, 20% off your entire purchase. So thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.